Good afternoon, Will Puckett here in the WVLT Now desk. We're bringing you an update out of Sevier County where a pretty fast-moving wildfire has just sparked outside of Pigeon Forge. We have been in communication with the Pigeon Forge Fire Department and the Tennessee Division of Forestry, who confirmed to us that, again, a fast-moving wildfire is sparked in the East Ridge Road area and Veterans Boulevard. We actually got a call from a viewer just about 5-10 minutes ago that she was able to see it from across the city of Pigeon Forge back up towards the Dollywood area. What you see right here from our Mountain Monster camera is that smoke that is billowing now from, again, that fast-moving fire. We, again, have been talking with Pigeon Forge Fire Department officials and the Tennessee Division of Forestry. They do not have an approximation of just how large this wildfire is right now, but they did tell us that it is fast-moving. This has been something that we have been reporting on for the past several days and really weeks as this drought moves on, just how prime these conditions are across East Tennessee and really the entire region for these wildfires to spark. And this one really got going just about, I'd say, about half an hour ago, as we've now been trying to communicate with officials as they fight this fire. We've learned that through this process, they try and get as many dozers on site as possible and get boots on the ground to fight this. This is separate from last night's fire that we would have notified you about through the WVLT News App. They were naming that one the Sugar Mountain Fire. You are talking almost completely on the opposite side of the city of Pigeon Forge from there, where that fire got underway. So if you're just joining us now, we're bringing you an update on a fast-moving wildfire in Sevier County, right near the Pigeon Forge area on the other side, closer to Dollywood. Pigeon Forge Fire Department officials and the Tennessee Division of Forestry tell us this is in the East Ridge Road and Veterans Boulevard area. They say it is fast-moving. They don't have an approximation, again, just how big this wildfire is at this moment. This video that you can see just to the side of me here is from our Mountain Monster camera in Pigeon Forge, showing you just really that heavy smoke that is starting to arise into the air from that wildfire. We do have our Sevier County Bureau Chief Kyle Granger in Pigeon Forge right now. He is getting ready for our 3:30 newscast, where we'll bring you more updates on really the swath of wildfires that have sparked in East Tennessee and now this one in Sevier County. Officials in Sevier County issued a burn ban earlier today, and they said that it's just so dry up there in the mountains that really Tony Watson, the fire chief in Pigeon Forge, told us that it's drier than 2017, and the National Weather Service backs that up. But it is critically important to note when you start throwing that year around that the winds are nowhere near as gusty as they were, but the conditions on the ground, at least weather-wise and water-wise, are so lacking in that area that it is just absolutely bone dry on the ground there. Again, if you're just now joining us, we are keeping track of what officials are calling a fast-moving wildland fire in Pigeon Forge near the East Ridge Road and Veterans Boulevard area. Our Sevier County Bureau Chief Kyle Granger got there almost immediately once we were notified of this and got over there and, again, shot some of this video and fed this back of the response so far at this moment of who all is on site. Pigeon Forge Fire Department, Division of Forestry, and everybody really trying to attack this head on as fast as they can to start backing down and declaring what would be called in this instance battle lines to make sure that they can get this under control. They do tell us that when it sparked and as it stands right now, there are structures in jeopardy. There are structures that are threatened. Can't tell you how many, what those structures look like, whether they're what they consider just outbuildings or if they are livable buildings. Where, again, have our Sevier County Bureau Chief Kyle Granger on site and is trying to get as much information for you. We'll have that live for you on air at 3:30 with an update from Kyle and continued 4, 5, and 6 on WVLT. But to wrap things up real quickly here, Sevier County officials tell us from the Pigeon Forge Fire Department and the Tennessee Division of Forestry there is a fast-moving wildland fire in the East Ridge Road, Veterans Boulevard area. This one video is the response so far right there up in East Ridge Road, and then the larger photo is from our Mountain Monster camera in Pigeon Forge that shows you that smoke that is rising into the air from this. They did tell us there are structures that are threatened, but we don't know if those are outbuildings or if those are livable structures. This is on the other side of Pigeon Forge from where that Sugar Mountain fire sparked last night. National Weather Service is again stressing how dry things are right now across East Tennessee, across the region, across the Mid-South, but specifically in Sevier County. Officials there tell us it is as dry as it was in 2017, but important to note that wind gusts and sustained winds are nowhere near what everyone saw back in 2017. This is something that, again, we're continuing to follow throughout the afternoon. This is not the only fire across East Tennessee, as many have sparked over the past several days and really over the past week and a half. It's something that we're keeping an eye on. We do have boots on the ground to bring you the latest updates, of course, right here in the WVLT Facebook page, inside your WVLT News app, and here in about 15 minutes starting on WVLT News at 3:30. We do have our Sevier County Bureau Chief Kyle Granger. You can see him getting ready to get set up right there. So let's go ahead and bring Kyle in. I believe, Kyle, you can hear me. Just update us on what you see where you're at in Sevier County right now.
I'm in the Ridge Road area, and this is Forge Hideaway Road. We have a number of crews that are coming in here. I'm standing in the road, so if I have to move out of the way, it may not be the prettiest shots right now, but what is happening here is we've got this road blocked off,
heading up the mountain, and the fire chief has asked me to stay at this distance away. He said I would be safe down here, and he'd get me up there as soon as he could. But you see police, fire, all sorts of folks that are up there. I'm going to zoom in a little bit closer and show you what's going on up the road. I tell you, we've got smoke surrounding this area. We've seen a number of those wildland fire crews coming into this region, and where I'm standing at right now, you have ash that's falling all around. And not to bring up some bad situations, but this is eerily familiar with how many of us woke up on that Monday in 2016 when the big wildfire was happening, and we didn't know what was going to happen then. But again, crews have been on alert all day long for these small brush fires that could lead to big situations. They tell me everything is just really dry right now, and of course this is one of those situations that they have been very, very concerned about. We smell the smoke, we see the ash flying around, and again, hard to get up into some of those areas as they are trying to get where the actual extent of the fire is at this time. I hear what sounds like some bulldozers off in the background, so hopefully those crews have already been able to get in there and work on these situations. While I was out doing my reporting for the day, I spoke with the fire chief in Gatlinburg, who was very concerned about similar situations like this, and what he told me that his fire department did, which I believe many fire departments in Sevier County have been doing these types of situations for a number of years. He had fire crews stationed all around the city. So while there may be a fire station here or a fire station there, he had them dispatched out, sitting and ready to roll just in case an alert was able to come in. They could get to that area immediately, and that's probably what's happened in this situation, as fire crews immediately on the scene the minute that phone call came in. What the fire chief in Gatlinburg was asking for is that everyone, if you see smoke, he wants you to call immediately 911 so he can get those crews to wherever they need to go and evaluate the situation and get that fire out as quickly as possible so we don't have a worsening situation. So again, a number of police, fire, other big trucks down the way here on this road. We're just kind of off of the Veterans Boulevard, kind of sandwiched between Veterans Boulevard and Teaster Lane in Pigeon Forge. There's a big ridge that is in there. There are a number number of homes in this community. We've got a couple of small businesses and stuff. There's one piece of big ash that's falling right there beside me. And of course, this is something that is so familiar, unfortunately, for so many people in this community who have dealt with brush fires and wildfires over the past several years. Of course, acting very quickly. We've got people standing in yards and lawns, just kind of checking out the situation, wondering what's going on. And they're all in kind of pins and needles, if you will, just checking out what's going on in their neighborhood, wanting to know, do I need to leave my house? Do I need to get my family? And this is one of those situations that right now they say they think things are doing pretty good. Again, the police officer came by and said, Kyle, if you could just stay here. Chief said he would come down here to you as soon as he could, but they are working to make progress with this. I'm going to zoom you in just a little bit closer. Sorry, it's hard to see, but we're on this ridge, so it's hard to get the camera completely zoomed in to show you exactly what's going on. But you see all of the fire crews that are there along with the police officers. That looks like one of those wildland vehicles that maybe haul some big machinery from the forestry department that's in the middle of the road, and I can see the police chief's command unit there as well. So no doubt a number of firefighters on scene. When I was in Gatlinburg earlier today, what the chief there told me was he brought in extra crews. He had people working on overtime so that he could staff 2 additional wildland units within the city of Gatlinburg today. And in Sevier County, while there are individual fire departments that are paid staff, and there's also the volunteer fire departments in Sevier County, these fire departments all work together. So if Pigeon Forge has a situation, Gatlinburg is going to send an additional crew. Sevierville will send an additional crew. Then they move those other units that are the secondary units to a different location to stage within their own municipalities, and then call from other areas to help with those volunteer services that many fire departments have here. So everyone kind of works together in these situations, sending the additional crews on the onset, hoping they're not needed, and then sending what is needed as that time comes, and then going back to their own cities and their own respectful areas. So at this time, that's about all I know. Will, it does appear that we still have some ash that's flying around in this particular location where I'm at. I've gotten just as close as I can get to the scene here. You'll see smoke in and around Pigeon Forge again. If you're on Veterans Boulevard, Teaster Lane, I was at the library when I got this phone call, walked out, immediately saw that big plume of smoke lingering over the city. Of course, crews working to get this out just as quickly as possible. Will?
Yeah, hard at work, Kyle. We're going to let you go and get you ready for WVLT News at 3:30. Sevier County Bureau Chief Kyle Granger, good stuff. Thank you, Kyle, keeping everybody safe in Sevier County. We're going to wrap this up real fast so we can get ready to bring you all of the updates live starting at WVLT News at 3:30. But for right now, there is a fast-moving wildfire in the East Ridge Road, Veterans Boulevard area. Kyle tells us just seconds ago that's really right between Veterans Boulevard and Teaster Lane. He is expected at some point in the next little bit. Obviously, they're incredibly busy, but is expected in the next little bit to talk with Pigeon Forge Fire Chief Tony Watson. We hope to hear from him. He told us earlier in the week, I've been saying 2017, excuse me, let it correct that, 2016. He's told us all week it is as dry as things were in 2016. Important caveat to that, though, it is not nearly as windy and gusty as it was years ago. It is important, and Sevier County officials continue to stress this. If you are in Sevier County, whether you live there or visiting, to download the code RED alerts. That will give you alerts straight to your phone from Sevier County officials. They say to download that. That'll give you any update anytime that they need to get something to you immediately. Right before I came on, I meant to mention this. First Alert meteorologist Ben Cathy told me that Sevier County officials have requested the National Weather Service to issue a fire warning. You will now see that crawl at the bottom of WVLT Channel 8 and the CW. That is informing everyone in Sevier County in particular just how important it is to make sure that you stay fire wise, no open burning, and to be careful. As you heard Kyle say, they're also stressing if you see smoke, call 911 immediately. The faster crews get on scene, the better it will be for everyone. Brittany Tarwater is getting ready to head on set. She will start things off for us on WVLT News at 3:30, and we'll continue to have coverage through WVLT News at 4, and then our Casey Wheelis will pick things up from there on WVLT News at 5 o'clock. Of course, stay here on the WVLT Facebook page and all times, 24/7, 365 inside the WVLT News app.
In Sevier County, the fire is near East Ridge Road and Veterans Boulevard. You can see that heavy smoke right here in the middle of your screen. This is coming from that area. And for reference, this is about a 10-minute drive from Dollywood. We actually just got off the phone with Dollywood officials. They tell us they are keeping an eye on the fire, but have not made any changes to their normal schedule. Our Kyle Granger is live with us in Sevier County. Kyle, tell us what's going on. Paint the picture for us.
Well, I can tell you right now, the latest information about 10 seconds ago, I got information that fire crews do have a line all the way around this fire. So that is good news right now. We are in a heavily wooded area right in the center of Pigeon Forge. So to set this off for you, Veterans Boulevard is to my left and Dollywood would be across the street from that. And then I've got Teaster Lane to my right, with the heart of Pigeon Forge being right there with the island, the event center, and the main parkway. So this is a heavily wooded area up on the ridge. And you see here, this is where fire crews have been working here for the past, say 30 minutes or so. Got this phone call maybe 30 minutes ago, and then we've been up here. I'm gonna zoom in just a little bit closer and show you the crews that are working up there. We've seen fire command units, we've got police officers that are on scene, and also forestry is here as well with those big bulldozers. They have been working to get that line all the way around this. The smoke is not as thick as it was when we got the phone call to come out into this location, but I can tell you there's still some ash that is flying around in this area, so kind of very eerie for people who were here back in 2016 when we had the big wildfires then. But the good news is right now, fire crews say they got on this quick. The forestry teams have been stationed in Sevier County for stuff just like this, and even though this is a heavily wooded area with some homes, we've got some businesses around, at this time no structures have been lost, and they've got a line all the way around this. Of course, still way too early to determine just how this fire potentially could have started here this afternoon. I'll tell you, I spent my day with fire crews throughout the county and talking to emergency management officials in Sevier County, and they have been working all day long issuing burn bans, sending out messages to telephones, text alerts, phone calls, reminding people not to be doing any type of open burning. It is now banned in Sevier County from all the cities and into the county areas as well. So no open flames, and they urge you extreme caution. If you smoke, make sure that cigarette is out. They said do not throw it out of a window of a car, because that is dangerous as well because of just how dry much of not only Sevier County is, but the entire region dealing with these dry conditions now. Seeing some of those firefighters still working around up in that area. Fire chief said this is where he felt most comfortable for me to stay for this information. He would come down and give me some information as soon as he could. At least one of the officers came by and told me that. So we're working to find out exactly what's going on. Again, we do not know what caused this fire. We're working to get that information out. But again, Brittany, you saw the big smoke there from those images from our tower cameras and the pictures that our viewers have been sharing with us. Seeing that big plume of smoke is an unwelcome sight that we want to see in Pigeon Forge, especially living here and visiting and vacationing and all that stuff. But the good news is tonight does sound like they've made some progress with this fire.
Yeah, that is really good news. And just like you were mentioning, less smoke in that area. When we looked at that picture too, that was significantly different than it was even just a few minutes ago. Glad to hear that that line is set up, Kyle. We can see some of those ashes that are falling in that area. And you did mention the alerts. If you're visiting or if you live in Sevier County, you can sign up to get those code red alerts for emergencies just like this one potentially through your WVLT News app. We have links and lots of ways to get connected there. Kyle, let us know when you have an update, but stay safe up there.
Thank you.
It's one of several wildfires that are in our area. We've been talking about these for several days now. We're keeping an eye on all of them for you. Look at this map. This is a helpful tool. This shows the fires that are burning in our state. The red dots are the active fires. Crews are working to contain these fires. We are staying up on all of these fires, making sure that you, your family, your property are all safe. You can access this map also through your WVLT News app. And new for you this afternoon, a home in Farragut badly damaged after a fire spread from a burn barrel. The fire happened around 11:30 a.m. near Grigsby Chapel Road. Here's a picture. Rural Metro Fire says they found heavy smoke coming from the back of the house after arriving. Crews were able to keep the flames away from the main part of the home, but it still suffered smoke damage, but nobody was hurt. Now, another burn ban in effect today. Kyle mentioned this here. Crews still
Hey, Zach, you got me?
Yes, I do, sir. We're here. We're taking you around the top of the floor.
All right, I'm going to try, probably blow out the VOSOT, and I'm going to try to have Fire Chief live.
Roger that. I'll just follow you.
Dollywood is suspending entry as a wildfire just east of Sevierville is threatening several buildings in the area. Here is a live look over Pigeon Forge right now. That smoke is starting, at least what we can see, starting to look better from what it was.
Yeah, a lot better from about half an hour ago. It all comes on the heels of what has been an incredibly busy stretch of days for fire crews across East Tennessee.
Sure has been. Our Sevier County Bureau Chief Kyle Granger is with us now. And Kyle, just a few minutes ago, you actually told us some good news that there is a fire line that is hopefully stopping it from spreading.
Yeah, we've been getting better news, and it actually looks a lot better here from when we first arrived here, say, about an hour and a half ago. Fire crews have been here intensely working on this fire. Just to set the scene, we are between Veterans Boulevard, Teaster Lane, on a ridge area right sandwiched in between there. We've gotten a little bit closer to the scene. Actually, it's gotten a little bit smokier here for us, but Chief Tony Watson is with us to tell us exactly what he knows at this place and time. And Chief Watson, when did you get the call? What did you think was happening, and how have crews been working on that?
I don't know what time we got the call exactly. I'm sorry, I don't know that. We've been really busy. But what we do know, we were just clearing off the earlier fire that we had from last night. So we had the forester here with us. Some of us left from up there and came right to here. What we had is about 5 acres and a very heavy, lots of kudzu, very rough terrain. It got up in the trees, crowning conditions right there. We're really lucky that we're able to hold it in check. If we hadn't got the dozers here early and was not able to get our resources in place, we would have been a lot worse than what it is right now. So just got told it started at 2:15.
Okay.
Sorry, so a little bit late on 2:15.
So 2:15, but obviously when I was over at the library area, I walked out, saw the big plume of smoke. That's not something we want to see in the middle of Pigeon Forge, especially knowing how dry it is right now.
No, it's absolutely not. We were seeing this from up there on Sugar Mountain. We actually picked it up. We had the Scenic helicopters help us locate it. We called the PD. They helped us locate it. It was just hard to find it where it is at right here, sandwiched in this. But we were able to work together as we always do and give a touch. So I can't say enough for the hard work that our firefighters did did. Tennessee Division Forestry really performed well today up there, and we were able to catch this fire right now. Now, I'm not feeling good. I won't feel good till we get some rain. But right now, we're this fire, we're looking pretty good unless something doesn't behave.
I was talking to Chief Cole from Gatlinburg earlier. He said everyone is working together in the county, helping each other out in these situations.
I can't say enough for these folks. I mean, the public safety in this community and how much our community loves us. I've had people call all day and say, hey, do you need anything? I mean, it's just great to be a part of this town right here, and what they do, the support that we get during these situations like this is unbelievable. Yes, we're all brothers and sisters in this. I've seen people work through the night, and I've seen them work hard and really dedicate themselves to this community. We're really fortunate to have these folks that dedicate their life to this work.
Now, for the folks who live up here, I've got folks down the mountain waiting to come up, check on their property. Any property threatened at this time, or what can you tell those folks waiting to come and see what's going on?
We're doing some back burning right now to burn up some of the fuel around one cabin right there. We've not lost any cabins. We got close. We did some prep work, found some cabins down. That's probably why it's still standing. But as soon as we can get this thing wrapped up, we'll let them right in here and let them take that. But everything right now is holding great. No loss.
All right.
And that's important.
Lower winds today.
Yes, we're worried about the winds tomorrow. We just need to pray for rain.
Yeah, okay, so that's the message from Chief Tawny Watson in Pigeon Forge this evening. We're at this fire, which broke out at about 2:15, or at least got the report of it at that time. And of course, fire crews continue at this hour to be here, checking on conditions and working on making sure all those containment lines that they've worked on are holding here for this evening. So for now, we're going to toss it back to you guys in the studio. That's what we know happening here in Pigeon Forge.
I won't feel good until we get some rain, Chief Watson saying it right there. Kyle Granger, thank you, sir. Fire crews also working a fire roughly 100 acres off of Satterfield Road in Union County.
Yeah, crews say they don't believe any structures are in danger right now. We also have reached out to the school system to see if there are any delays in getting those students home. We haven't heard back from them yet, but we'll let you know when we do. We're going to continue to bring you updates on these breaking news stories right here on WVLT News on the air and in your WVLT News app.
Let's get to First Alert meteorologist Paige Noel. Paige, Chief Watson put it pretty much bluntly. He's not going to feel good until we get some rain, and considerable rain at that.
Yeah, I mean, we've been wanting a really good rain over the past several weeks. That's why this drought monitor has just worsened over the past couple of weeks. Got that new drought monitor out today. This is over the past couple of weeks. You can see that severe to extreme and now exceptional drought moving into East Tennessee. It has expanded into parts of our area. That includes parts of McMinn to Monroe County, Roane to Loudoun, sliver of Knox to Anderson County, now in that exceptional drought, which is the highest level of drought. We have not seen an exceptional drought in East Tennessee and Knox County until 2016 was the last time we saw it. So this is something we need to watch very carefully. Really, all of us are in that at least severe drought. So we go from severe to extreme and then exceptional there. So this is just something we really got to keep an eye on. And we've been very dry for the season, for the fall season. So usually since September to today, we usually are closer to about 8 inches of rain. We've only gotten a little over an inch of rain. Of course, this is recorded at the airport. Keep that in mind. So we need about a good 7 inches to make up for this drought. We're not tracking 7 inches anytime soon, but we're tracking some rain to move in. I think we're dry throughout most of the day tomorrow, but then we have that cold front moving in, and that's going to bring us some more scattered light rain to move in as we head towards your Friday. We have a chance for some better rain a little bit later in that First Alert 8-day planner. I'll tell you when that arrives coming up in that First Alert forecast.
Paige, thank you. Happening now, the city of Knoxville wants input on the future of the McClung warehouse.
Pigeon Forge. We're just learning Dollywood has now reopened to visitors. It was closed for a moment, now back open.
Yeah, temporarily suspending entry this afternoon. Said it was to allow firefighters to do the job that they need to do. Again, Dollywood now back open to guests. It's been an incredibly busy week for fire crews across East Tennessee.
Our Sevier County Bureau Chief Kyle Granger is following this story, making sure people know what they need to know. Joins us now. Kyle, what's the latest?
Yeah, we were working on a story about what people need to know going into the evening hours and for tomorrow, as this fire threat is expected to continue. When we got the call about what is happening here on Hideaway Ridge Road, just outside of Pigeon Forge. Let me step out of the way. The piece of equipment that the chief of Pigeon Forge said saved the day has just gone down the mountain. I'm told he's going to go work on some more containment lines here. But you see here, this is the scene up on the top of the mountain. The chief said it got really scary here at times as that fire managed to get up into the tree canopy, and he said there's a plant that grows in these woods, and it's just like gas. And so when the fire got into those plants, it just started to burn rapidly. But luckily, they had enough crews that were on scene here to start working and get that handled. He said they were on another fire, the one that broke out last night, when they looked across the ridge and saw the smoke coming, and actually it was a touring helicopter company that called in the exact location of where this fire was, helping firefighters locate what was going on. And unconfirmed reports right now that the chief was telling us about, that they believe someone was burning leaves out here in this situation. So earlier today, I spent my day in Gatlinburg talking to Fire Chief Charlie Cole there about fire conditions across the county. They've issued burn bans all across Sevier County, every city, the entire county. No fireworks, no open burning, and there's no more campfires in the national park tonight, as reported by the National Park Service. But in Gatlinburg and in Sevier County, Chief Cole told us if you see smoke, because no one should be burning, call 911 immediately. And that's what happened here this afternoon. Started getting those phone calls. Crews got here in a matter of minutes and able to get the fire with some water on it, started getting those containment lines around and helping to get the situation well under control, containing it to about 5 acres in size. And again, as you saw, they're going to send some crews down the mountain to put some additional lines around to make sure this thing holds through the evening hours. The fire chief here in Pigeon Forge did tell me they expect to have crews on scene all night long, just monitoring the situation. This is a highly wooded area. There's more of those plants in there that are just like gas should they catch on fire, and he wants to make sure that nothing blows up in the middle of the night, making sure the folks who live on this ridge are able to get to their homes safely this evening and sleep comfortably. So they'll be out here watching things throughout the course of the evening. We're going to continue to gather information here about what happens here up on the ridge. We're kind of sandwiched between Veterans Boulevard with Dollywood on one side and the Island and Teaster Lane on the other. So we're right into the middle of this wood line that you see when you're driving in the heart of Pigeon Forge. Very scary moment for many people here this afternoon on this ridge. Reporting live in Pigeon Forge, Kyle Granger, WVLT News.
Earlier, Chief telling Kyle, quote, "I won't feel good until we get some rain." Really important just to not burn anything across East Tennessee right now, especially in Sevier County. Kyle Granger, as always, thank you.
We're going to continue to bring you updates on this breaking story here on the air and through your WVLT News app. Let's get another check of our First Alert forecast. First Alert meteorologist Paige Noel is with us. And Paige, you're still monitoring that drought that you've been watching, but there is some rain in the forecast.
Yeah, we need a lot of it, but we're going to get every little drop that we can get. And so there's our rainfall over the next 7 days. The biggest question, when are we getting that rain and how much? So over the next 7 days, we could get up to maybe an inch in and around all of East Tennessee, maybe closer to 2 inches up towards some of those mountaintops. So desperately needed, but when does that arrive? So far this season, check out this deficit. So usually we're right around 8 inches of rain since September 1st. So for the fall season, to date, we've only gotten about an inch of rain. Now, of course, this is recorded at the airport, but that's the official keeping for the National Weather Service. So we need a good 7 inches to kind of get caught back up from this drought. This is that latest drought monitor that came out earlier this morning. All of us, I'm going to go ahead and say the majority of us are in that severe drought. And then a good portion of us now in that extreme drought, that's that red color, that deeper red, is exceptional. That's the highest category. The last time we saw an exceptional drought in and around East Tennessee and even into parts of Knox County, because it's into a little bit of sliver of Knox County, was back in 2016. So again, do not burn anything. As for those wind gusts heading into the next couple of days with that front moving through, could be a little bit breezy Friday and Saturday. Gusts at max though up to about 15 miles an hour. They start to die back down Sunday. Of course, we'll watch that closely over the next couple of days, but we're checking out tomorrow's cold front and then that cold front early next week, the timing on that and that first alert forecast.
Paige, thank you. All right, crazy to think that we're going to be talking about this while things are so dry around here, but winter